Welcome guys to my YouTube channel. My name is Arnold and I'm from M25 Capital. Okay, today I want to analyze the market with you and just show how simple the market is and how we the traders like to complicate Forex and ourselves, and that leads to more losses and no profits. So I was just gonna clear my my chart. Just gonna delete everything and then start afresh. So what I'm gonna be teaching and be focusing on is simple supply and demand, because we solidly believe that the market is all about supply and demand. The price is moved by supply and demand. The higher the supply, the price goes down. The higher the demand, the price goes up. In every economics, in every trade or industry, prices is pushed by supply and demand. So to us, it's not different with the Forex market. We believe that the Forex market respects those levels and those psychological behaviors created by the buyers and sellers globally. So for example, when you approach the market, the simple thing that we teach our student is to identify and plot your pivot points. These pivot points are what some of you call the higher highs and the lower lows. We simply call them pivot points, the turning points in the market. As you can see, this is a pivot point, that's a pivot point, that's a pivot point. These other terms, they call it the higher highs and the higher lows, and the lower highs, the lower lows. So we basically like to refer them as the pivot points, the turning points where you can physically see, without doing anything, you can see that the market turned here, the market turned there, and it turned there and turned there. Those are pivot points. So we plot our supply and demand by identifying those pivot points. For example, this is the AUD/USD daily chart on my MT5. Forgive me, today I'm going to be analyzing using my MT5, not my trading view. So I'm going to pick a rectangle tool and just stretch it here and create my demand zone there. As you can see, I plotted here because I saw this price turned here, so this will mark my first demand zone. And then the second visible major turning point or pivot point is this high one there, where price recently turned, seemed to be the high that it made in this past since December 2020, and that level hasn't been tested. And again, at this point, I can see that price came here. I'll mark this as a zone, as my middle zone there. I'll also pick another tool there and plot my zone there. There. That's how it comes out, like that. So I just connect those tips there. Right, the second thing is, after plotting the major supply and demand zone, this is my major supply zone, my major demand zone, and this is my middle zone. It can play as either supply or demand depending whether the price is broke or not. As you can see here, it played as a supply zone. Price was being held at this level for about a couple of days, and then it finally broke, and this demand turned into a supply zone. So I will talk more about that in my other videos. Today I'm just want to demonstrate how simple we analyze the market and how simple we take our trades. So our second thing is we're going to connect all those pivot points also diagonally, as we had plotted our supply and demand zone horizontally. I'm going to pick a tool, a trend line. You're familiar with the trend line. I'm going to connect this point there and with that point there. So the way that we trade the market is, we believe that 2 points make a trend line. So I connect the first point and the second point, and my trend line is made. Then I look for third touches to the trend line before I take my entry. That's how we trade. That's our strategy. And usually we use the 2 points, the 2 current points before the current market price. I'll show you what I mean by that later. So as you can see now, this is the chart that we have of ODSD, the analysis that we have. What we see is that the price came from this level. It came to this and formed a major demand zone in this area and a W, and it went all the way up and touched that trend line there. Again, it formed a double bottom on this demand there, shot up and created a high, came down here, was supported, then it finally broke this channel. So price was going on an uptrend all this while. As of 12 August 2020, ODSD has been on an uptrend up to 2020, 17th of May 2021. It's been on an uptrend, and this has been a major trend for ODSD until the price broke out of this channel there. It broke out, and this breakout signified a change of direction in the market, and we expect to see ODSD going all the way down to come and test this demand zone. The other thing that you should know, that we always share with our students, is that we take market as a river, the price is the water, and you and your capital and your trades, you must go with the flow of the water. Don't try to oppose the flow, and don't be stubborn. Many a times we are traders, we want to tell the market what to do and want to be stubborn and force the market to do or to flow in our direction. But when you plot these zones, right? When you plot these zones, they play as your riverbeds, as your guidelines. This is a riverbed, and the river flows inside. So are these trend lines. The river flows inside. What happens with the water? It gets into the edge of the riverbed. You see that the current just changes and comes and is pushed to this one, and so forth, until it breaks. When it breaks that riverbed, as we refer to it, it will form another one at this, like for example, at this area, price was ranging in between this as a riverbed, then it broke, and now this one is being formed as another riverbed, and now we expect to see the price moving inside this one before it breaks, inside these levels, level 0.703 and 0.75. So as you can see now, as you are watching, as you are looking at the chart, you see that the price is going down, and be rest assured it's coming to rest on this zone there. That's the target. That's where it's going. As you can see, we had a breakout. And strong impulse move out of this channel. It broke this demand zone, tested it, came down, price tried to push up, and the buyers were so weak, and the sellers took over and pushed it down. So this momentum and this kind of rejection shows the strength of the sellers, and that's why we expect to see ODSD selling all the way to this level 0.70. That's where we expecting to exit this trade. We are aware that price might play around here, but the final destination is at that zone there. So the other thing, you can also connect these previous 2 points from where the current market price is. I'll connect this high there and that high there, like that, and also connect these lows here, like that there. So as you can see right now, the current situation is that the price is having a third touch on this trend line, So there is the probability that price will break down and continue coming down to this level. So this will be determined by the candles that will open in this coming week. We will see where the price will go to with the kind of candles that will be formed on this trend line. So if price manages to break down here and retest, we expect a further sell off. But again, we can expect a rejection here and a bounce back up to this trend line like that, there, to that trend line there, and then a push down like that. So these are the scenarios that are there. Either a break to this one there, so this is what we are going to be looking at and watching it. So what they say about you don't chase the price, you wait for the price to come to you, is you, after making your analysis like this during the weekend, preparing for a week, we have to spot all these possibilities and probabilities and wait patiently for the market to come to play in your areas. So like I'm saying, we're going to be waiting for price to break and further sell or reject, go up there or sell at that level there. Those are the scenarios that we're going to be looking at on the ODSD during this coming week. I'll go to 4-hour time frame so that we see how it looks like. In the 4-hour time frame, this is how it looks like. So like I said, we connect 2 points, then we have a trend line, and here if we see a rejection here, we'll enter our buy up to that level and put our stop loss below. So this is what basically we'll be looking at on the ODSD this coming week. This is the chart that we have. And secondly, I'm going to show you an analysis on our one of our also favorite pair, USD ZAR. So as we see the chart, like we said, we are going to plot our supply and demand using the pivot points, the major ones that we see, the highest point where the price turned and the lowest point where the price turned, and we're going to find also the middle points where the price turned. We try to keep our chart as clean as possible so that we don't confuse ourselves. So we're going to pick up our tool, plot a zone there. This is the highest where ZAR went early February 2020 during COVID crisis. It was almost at 20 rand. 1 2 years was almost 20 rand. And again, I have a pivot point here. This one, the turning point, this one, another turning point there. Okay, then in the middle here, I've got another, sorry, that's the wrong tool. In the middle there, I have another point there. So if you take a note, a close look, you see that when price reaches these levels, it will always react. So you know that if you are on a coming from the top, going down, if you reach this level, you expect a reversal back up. If you are coming from the bottom, going up, if you reach at this level, you expect a reversal going down. So this is how simple the market is, guys. I'm not struggling. Don't struggle. Just look at the chart and plot your zones. Identify your pivot points. That's all. Then wait for the price to get there. Take a sell, take a buy. Simple as it's that. Put your stop loss above the zone or below the zone, and let the market do itself. Don't worry about what happens. If your stop loss is hit, it's hit. If your take profit is hit, you are happy. You should be willing to do those things. In case you are wrong, or in case the market does its funny things that it always does, it's part of the business. Just take it as it is. Don't beat yourself about it. Don't beat yourself. The only thing that will make you to lose more money is to try to complicate things, to try to force the market to do what you want it to do and not follow the market. Remember, this is a river. The price is the water. You need to go with the flow. always go with the flow. And plotting these supply and demand zones will help you identify the riverbed and where the direction of the market is going. So again, now we're gonna take our trend line, connect the highs of the where the price is from there to there to there. There to there. So we just joined this high there, that high there, and that high there. So we see that price has been on a downtrend ever since 20 February 2020. We were on a downtrend. This was a channel downtrend. As you can see, your river was flowing like that, and we had a play here, flowing like that, up to this level there. Now let's see what we have here. So price, we see that price is broken out of this channel. We might be going up now since the downtrend seemed to be over, but wait, we'll see about that. Now I'm gonna connect these two highs like that, and that high like that, and these lows, sorry. So price is already, it broke under this zone, but again it was a fake out and it went back up into this zone. So to me and to us, this zone is still valid as a supply zone. Price failed to go further down, it went back up, so it's now above this zone. So the next target that we anticipate is that the price has to move from this demand zone to that supply zone there. So we are anticipating a buy on the USD ZAR. So now this is what we see on the daily chart. What we expect is a little push to this zone there, a little push to this one, to this to this trend line there, to have a third touch on the trend line. Sorry. Okay, let me go to a 4-hour time frame. Sorry, let me go to a 4-hour time frame so I can be able to plot this thing. Right, 4-hour time frame. So what I'm saying is we're expecting a push of price to this trend line, then a buy, then a buy like that. For now, as we progress all the way up, for us, this is how we're expecting this price to play here. So we are going to be bullish on the USD ZAR after this minor sell-off is completed. We're gonna wait for the price. You can enter a sell depending on yeah. This is a 15-minute time frame. As you can see, we had an impulse move, correction, impulse. So price is correcting here, then it will push further down before it goes up. So as you can see, we had an impulse move here. Sorry, a correction with the impulse. That's a correction like that. Now so that's what we have there. So what we expect is that the price will push down like that. No, maybe these are the probabilities that are there, the scenarios that are there. Price can push to that level there, then we sell off there before we bounce off with a buy like that. So this is what we have on a 15-minute time frame. As you can see, even on a 15-minute time frame, I can draw my, this is a pivot point. I can draw it like that. There, this is where price turned there. Then this is where price turned there. So this can be a pivot point. So I anticipate that price will push to this demand zone there before it goes up there. As you can see, you can use this strategy on any time frame. Any time frame. Supply and demand zone works on any time frame. Just need to know that when supply is broken, it tends to be demand. When supply is broken, it tends to be demand. And when demand is broken, it tends to be supply. So you need to be aware of that. So on the 1 hour, this is what it looks like. So like we expect our price to give us a third touch on this trend line. Sorry, we had the first touch there, second touch there. We expected third touch there before we could push up, as you can see. So this is the analysis that we have. I'll remove this one, forgive me. This is what we have there. This is what we have on the USD ZAR. 4 hour time frame, same story. 4 hour time frame. As you can see, it looks bullish nyana. Maybe we're going to push back up there because we have a zone here, a pivot point there. Price is respecting this pivot point. Price is respecting this pivot point. That's why it's pushing up like that. It's gonna push up there and find another resistance there, and then push down. So this is what we should be expecting for the price to play out. So guys, I hope this will help you. Be back with more analysis to perfect our supply and demand trading. I'll be back with more tools and with more ways you can be able to analyze and profit from the market with simplicity, hassle-free, and stress-free. After you take your trades, you just let it like that. Let the market take its course. So thank you guys again for tuning in on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, share, and like, and wait for more to come. Thank you so much. Till we meet again, I'm out.